Now we'll set our well description, and if you'll remember, we were building a single well model in a 9x9 grid. So Merlin has set up our 9x9 grid and placed a single well in the center of the model. We'll then define what type of well this is, and Merlin has a very rich selection of well types. So you could pick a well type of, say, a water rate specified injector, or a water rate reinjector, or a gas reinjector. In our case, we're going to use an oil rate specified producer. Then we'll specify a name for the well, and Merlin defaulted to the name P1 for producer 1. The startup time for the well, in this case time 0. And since it's a rate specified well, we need to specify a target rate, and we'll set that at 3,000 barrels a day. And finally, we will need to give a flowing bottom hole pressure, and we'll set that as 200. The reason for this is that Merlin will try to make the target rate if it can. But if to make that rate it has to pull the pressure too low and it gets down to the flowing bottom hole pressure constraint, it will go on pressure control. Now we need to define where the well is completed. If you'll remember, we have a gas cap in the top layer, an aquifer in the bottom layer, and an oil zone in between. So we want to complete in the oil zone. And to indicate completion, we can specify any non-zero number in the layers we want to complete in. And then we need to determine the productivity index, and Merlin will help us with this. So we can ask Merlin to calculate the productivity index. It will ask us for the well radius and the skin factor, and it will calculate the PI for us. Notice that all of these PIs are the same. That's because all of our layers are homogeneous. If we had historic data, we could enter the historic data for the field or for any well defined in our model. In this case, we're not going to be entering any historic data. So now we have entered all the data necessary for a run, and we're ready to make a run.